Good morning, West High, and this is your broadcast for March 16th. And now we have Cameron Jefferson with a news report on our state champion debate team.
Last week, the West High debate team went to a competition. It was on Friday and Saturday. They ended up winning the state competition for 5A. I sat down with a couple of members of the team to discuss their victory.
Right? Yeah. How does it feel to win state? Man, it feels so good. Look, I know to these debaters, especially a lot of these seniors for whom this is like their last opportunity to compete, having this level of success is really important to them. I know they're going to look back on this with the validation of knowing that they were the very best at what they did, and we're really proud of that.
It felt really good. There was a lot of hard work we put into it, and it really paid off.
I don't think we've ever won state before. Having like all the other sports have a lot of attention when they win state. Like we can finally have that now. We had a really fantastic coach who who led us through all the like processes and kept us updated with weekly meetings and made sure that we practiced, and it was very, very helpful.
So to prepare for debate tournaments, you do a lot of practice debates where you debate people from your own school to get better and have people give you feedback. Another thing you do is you do a lot of research. So in policy this year, the topic is about education reform. So you research a lot about the current state of U.S. Education policy.
Yeah, so winning the speech and debate championship, or what's also known as the forensics championship, forensics is basically that term, basically derives from the Greek forum, where people would come to talk and to share ideas. We still recognize that as the term associated with talking and deliberating and debating. And that's basically what our debate team members are doing every weekend as they go to various high schools across the state to prove that they're the best.
It's a ton of fun. I really enjoy it. I think if you like either speaking, like talking with people, arguing with people, or doing research, any of those three, there's a place for you to do debate.
So if you have any interest in competitive speech and debate at all, please come visit me in room A207, and I'll talk about how you can get involved.
On Tuesday, over 2,000 schools and over thousands of more students participated in a national walkout to protest gun violence and gun laws in America. West High School was one of those schools. Students gathered at the front of the school and joined together in 17 minutes of silence for the 17 lives lost in the Parkland shooting just a month ago. Students called for an urgent change and reform to American gun laws.
Second, we need to push legislation that will require background checks after the purchase of every gun. This will prevent criminals, domestic abusers, and anyone who is not a responsible gun owner from getting a gun.
There are many different opinions on the touchy subject, but nearly all agreed something had to change.
School is a place for learning and growth, not death and destruction.
Many students encouraged their fellow classmates to go register and vote to make that change possible.
Being active and contacting your local representatives and having a voice is the best thing you can do as a student.
Schools like Highland, East, and Rowland Hall also participated. All throughout the school district and all throughout the country, students' voices were heard. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Salt Lake City School District will not be next, and it's our generation and the power of our voices that can make this happen.
A big new change is happening here at West. That means you're going to have to come to school at 7:45 on Mondays now.
What do I think about late start Mondays? I think they're good. Not much to think.
What do I like about late start Mondays? I like being able to stay up late Sunday night as well as Saturday night. And I like being able to sleep in Monday knowing it's a short day.
Oh, how do I use late start Monday? I usually sleep in till about 8 and then frantically panic like I do every other day to, go down to the bus and get to school.
As many of you know, late start Mondays end after spring break. Other high schools such as East High and Highland adhere to a similar schedule policy. We talked to a couple of students about the new change.
Do I think Late Start Mondays should continue throughout the school year? No, I think that we need to have time for SAGE testing, which is an important standardized test, I guess.
Yeah, I would enjoy that because I think it helps students wake up and get a nice start to their school week again, and I think it helps them blend their weekend and their school week together.
Do I know why Late Start Mondays are ending? I would assume it has something to do with the government.
Do I know why Late Start Mondays end? Yeah, sort of. It's because we need a certain amount of hours in the school year, and Late Start Mondays have to end to reach that goal.
And now here's Calvin announcing the winner of our Oscar predictions. Now we have West Has Talent with Zara.
What's up, West High? I'm Zahra Ines here, and this is West Has Talent. Today with me here, I have a very talented person with multiple talents that she's going to be sharing with you. Well, let's jump into it and find out who she is.
Hello, my name is Kaya/Abby. I'm a junior here at West. I draw, and I've been drawing for 10 years-ish, and it's just like something I do, and I do it basically every day, all day at school. I started like falling in love with drawing in about 6th grade when I actually started doing it more and more and more, and it's just grown. I use just regular lead pencils. It depends for the artist. I use Copic markers, and those they blend pretty well. I don't know. I don't really color my art. I just use like regular pencils for like sketching and stuff. Everything is challenging about drawing, but specifically, like, I've done faces so long that I can just do faces, but like anatomy is hard. Hands are the worst things in the world. And coloring and shading, I'm not good at those and I need to practice. I draw for fun mostly, but sometimes I do use it as like a coping mechanism, as people say. It just like helps you get rid of stress. Yes, I do want to have a future in drawing. That's actually one of the things that I want to do. I just want it to be like something like on the side. So there's this artist named Brian Froud, and he worked on my favorite movie, and basically his art just made me like, I don't know, I just love his art so much, and it makes me want to be better. Like, I want to be like as talented and be able to have, I don't know, representation, I guess. So like if someone says, I want you to draw me, I'd be like, okay, but you need to pay me. And they'd be like, how much? Well, so a sketch would literally be like $5, and lining it would be $10, coloring it would be $15, and that's just like half the body. But if it was full body, it would be $20. The advice that I have for people, keep drawing. Don't just like do one thing and never expand it. You need to expand. So I sing as well, and it's pretty fun. Okay. When you finally find it, you'll see how it's faded. The underside is lighter when you turn it around. Everything stays right where you left it. Everything stays.
Well, thanks for watching, West. I hope you've learned something new about Kaya Rose. I'm Zahra Ines here, and this has been West Has Talent. Until next time.
We have a few important messages about Spirit Week that is happening next week. Take a look at that.
After last year's Spirit Bowl and the security issues that did happen at last year's Spirit Bowl, many students have been wondering, what are the security precautions for this year? And we took the time to ask Julie Denton, head of ISD and Utah Youth Advocate here at West High School, what security plans to do this year for Spirit Bowl.
Well, we're going to show presence. We're going to be all out and about. like we usually are. But however, we're going to be out on the grass. We're going to check IDs on our way in. We're going to cross-check whoever the teachers are that are checking the IDs. We're going to do that. We're going to make sure that the building's clear over here on this side, that everybody's over there at the field house. Just kind of watch, make sure that nothing happens, that everybody stays calm. And after Spirit Bowl, then we're going to let each team go one by one, give everybody time to get out of there, and everybody needs to make sure that they don't bring backpacks. Just walk in and be calm and don't do anything crazy. Don't wear anything crazy. Don't throw crazy things out into the floor. Don't cause fights with the other teams and the other with other grades. And basically, just have fun.
All right, cool. Thank you.
We have declared that this will not happen again, and we have had enough. Salt Lake City School District will not be next.
Nicholas Dworet, Alyssa Alada,
Luke Hoyer, Gina Montalto,
Scott Beagle, Martin Duque,
Aaron Feist, Cara Loughran,
Chris Hickson,
Joaquin Oliver,
Elena Petty,
Helena Ramsey,
Armin Shentrip,
Peter Wang,
Alex Schachter.
No student or teacher should be scared that they will be next. That is not something we will allow to plague our minds any longer. School is a place for learning and growth, not death and destruction.
No teacher or coach should ever be expected to die for their students. We refuse to live in fear.
Stand with us in showing a nation of adults and politicians that we are taking matters into our own hands, and we will not tolerate this violence any longer. Listen to the youth of Utah, the youth of America. Safe gun storage needs to become a priority in households that possess guns. No child should be able to find and use a gun in a matter of minutes.
We will not subject future generations to have educational experience wrought with fear.
As a movement, we also need to address all parts of gun violence, including adversity that students of color experience outside of school. Everyone deserves a voice, and we need to support each other in facilitating that voice. No one deserves to feel as though their life is threatened by anyone, including police officers, parents, or peers. The lives of students across America are being valued less than guns and gun-related revenue. We stand here together to tell our politicians that we will not be silenced when our lives are at stake. As a nation, we should value our children above our weapons. I hope it's that, we are united as students, and we will not be next. Enough is enough.
This is just the beginning. Today, by walking out, we show our leaders and our lawmakers that we are watching and we are listening and we demand change. By the time our little sisters and our little brothers go to West, they better feel safe.
Since many of West students, as well as students across the nation, are too young to vote, we must utilize our voices as tools to expedite change until we can take advantage of our right. Speak up. Use what resources we have to make an impact, and then make sure you get registered to vote.
We are students, we are victims, we are change. We are students, we are victims, we are change. We are students, we are victims, we are change. We are students, we are victims, we are change. We are students, we are victims.
There's more information on www.marchforourliveslc.com.